Welcome, everyone. My name is Elizabeth DeLeo, and I'm the Director of Family Offices at Wealth Preservation Solutions. Our CEO, Kevin Ellman, and I are here today to talk to you about what a stress test is and why you may want to consider having one today. Hi, Kevin.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Glad we could get together like this in this unusual environment, right?
It's a little different.
We'll do our best with it. Well, Kevin, we're here today to try to help our families understand why making a stress test or having a stress test done for them would be helpful. And I think what we understand is that when families develop their wealth plan over a period of years, most work with a variety of professional advisors. Would you agree?
Yes, typically someone will have a lawyer, an accountant, maybe a stockbroker, and an insurance person. And the thing that's characteristic of this is that they rarely have all these people in the same room at the same time working on their plan. Typically, they meet with them over a period of years. So when they first get married, they might create a will. Of course, they're going to meet with their CPA every year to do their taxes. Then they have someone help them with their investments. Maybe they buy insurance. And things evolve over time. So their families may grow, they may have children, their children may have children, businesses grow, they add businesses, they might change advisors. And of course, the big one, which nobody really pays any attention to, is that the tax laws are changing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we have a change of administration, there's a new variation in the tax law that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, nobody is really coordinating all the different advisors to make sure that they're taking into account all these changes to make sure that the plan stays up to date.
That makes sense. And having heard you actually explain it that way, it raises the question to me of how will my plan actually work if and when it's triggered?
Well, that's really the best question. So nobody really thinks about, well, what would actually happen if one of us were to pass away and the will actually took effect? Or if you have a buy-sell agreement, what happens if one of the partners, maybe they don't die, maybe you just disagree and you've decided you're going to move on in different directions. What does the agreement say and what actually happens? So this is what the stress test does for you. It's going to show you exactly how do your documents work, what do they say, and what will happen to who and when.
And what documents will stress tests actually review?
Well, typically we're going to look at the will, we're going to look at any trusts that you may have and any related insurance. If you have a business, we're certainly going to look at the buy-sell agreement. We want to make sure that all the assets are titled to coordinate with the will and the other documents. And while we're at it, we're going to certainly look at the investment portfolio to make sure everything's handled properly. And, I glossed over asset titling and beneficiary designations. It's shocking how often the beneficiary designation has not been changed. Someone may have started a 401k when they were very young, and maybe they made their parents as the beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, they've created a lot of wealth. They got married, and they don't get around to changing it. So all these things have to be coordinated. Otherwise, it's almost guaranteed that what you want to have happen won't happen.
Understood. So you're going to review all the documents and you'll kind of get a snapshot of what's actually happening. And it's my understanding that it's going to highlight what the strengths are of the plan, what the weaknesses are, maybe if there's some areas of improvement, and maybe even if there's something that needs to be addressed right now. So at that point, what choices do we have?
Well, you're exactly right. So every plan has some good things about it. Not every plan is completely messed up. So we're going to point out this works, this doesn't work, this is a problem, you got to fix it right away. And these are things that you can address, at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have this report, then you can decide, maybe you're in good shape. So maybe you don't need to do anything. You can always go back to your existing advisor and say, look, I got this report from Wealth Preservation, but I'd like to work with you. So why don't you, help me fix my plan? Or certainly, we'd be very happy to talk about working with us, and we'd describe how we work, what we charge, what the process looks like. And it's always an option you can work with us. But there's absolutely no pressure. It's completely up to you to do whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, that's nice. And so now, Kevin, we know what a stress test is. We know why it's important and when someone may want to consider having one done. Now, where can someone go actually to have this done today?
So we've set this up on our website, which is, unfortunately, it's not short. It's wealthpreservationsolutions.com.
Mhm.
Wealthpreservationsolutions.com. So it's long, but it works.
Yes.
And you go to the website, and there's a space where you click stress test. And we've set it up so they're basically 20 questions. And if you go through these questions, and a question might be, have you reviewed your will in the last 5 years? That type of thing. And you're going to answer yes or no. And then at the end of it, you're going to get a score. And depending on your score, we may come back to you and may say, oh, you're in great shape, no need to do anything. Or there are some areas that, warrant attention, and we think you should do something about it.
Mhm.
So doing something about it in our case means we're going to give you a call and have a conversation. We're going to talk through, these are the problems, these are the strong areas, these are the weak areas, this is what we think you should do. And then it's up to you to decide how you want to go forward. And again, absolutely no pressure whatsoever. It's a conversation.
Mhm.
And then you can decide, if it makes sense for you.
Sure. Well, that's great. I'm really appreciative that you took the time to be able to explain what the importance is and what the opportunity is within a stress test. So, we together here at Wealth Preservation Solutions hope to meet you and your family soon and hope you have a wonderful day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay wealthy. Bye.
Bye.